Hey, everybody, it's Stephen the Medium. I am here just hanging out on this Tuesday night. And this is so sporadic. I had no idea I was going to go live. And I just figured I'd come on quickly to check in with everybody. Hopefully, just tune into some spirit for somebody if somebody wants to come on and check to see how the holidays were and how everybody's doing and see hey Lisa's the first here, so I just decided to come on quickly and maybe just check in with some people and do some quick readings. And again, happy holidays, Merry Christmas to everybody who's here. Hey, Crystal. I did, and I hope you did too, Crystal. I had a fabulous holiday with New Year's coming. Hey, Rebecca. So I wanted to just check in. And again, hey, Jane. This was just sporadic. I didn't think. Elix actually just texted me and said he's downstairs watching TV. Am I coming? And I'm in my office upstairs. Hey, Teresa and Lynn. And I told him I was thinking about just going on live and just to check in with everybody and see how everybody's doing, because it's like the end of the year and we're going to be, hey, Catherine, we're going to be starting 2023, which is crazy. Lana, the holiday was great, and I hope your holidays, everybody's holidays were so great. Hey, Jess. Yes, and Pamela, Elix and I had a great time. We're fortunate that we have our cousin Ava, who is downstairs with us too. So she came and spent the holidays with us, and she's still here, which is great. And Laurie, Merry Christmas. And hey, Jess, it's funny. This crazy woman, Lisa, who's here, is texting me too. I can't get rid of her. I can't get away from her. So, but I hope Lisa, I'll text you as soon as I'm done, because Lisa and I have been having some conversations. Lisa is the one who takes care of our boys. So check her out. She's incredible, and her business is incredible on the Cape. So, but I hope everybody's doing well, and I hope everybody is getting through the holidays in a great way. I just had a conversation with Elix just a couple of days ago about, it's hard enough when we lose somebody, but when it's the holidays, it's just it's that pressure. It's just that sort of, sometimes I know I get it, especially with losing my mom 2 years ago, that some days I just feel like everything is sort of like, I don't know, squeezing me in, and it gets a little much. But one of the reasons why too, I was just thinking about coming on is just to talk about something quickly. And I'm just going to go through people quickly, which I've never done, and just do little miniature readings, which I think is great because I get to more people. So just hang on. Hey, Betty. But I got, I don't know if I've mentioned this or not, but I got a letter from prison from Indiana. And it was, there was a lot of emotions when I saw a piece of mail coming from prison and coming from Indiana, because I don't know anybody from Indiana. So I opened it up, and it was addressed to Stephen the Medium. And I don't want to show the front of the envelope to show you who it is. But she wrote me this very long 2-page letter. I don't know how she found me. I sort of do know how she found me, through spirit, through energy. And she is in her 20s, she has 2 babies, and she is serving time for, unfortunately, something that happened, and was just hoping that I would speak to her or communicate to her on a spiritual level to help her somehow, some way, pass the days until she gets home to her babies. And she said her two babies are with the dad. So it was a perspective that, I've been in juvenile court as an attorney for 20 years now. So I mean, I've seen it. I was going to say I've seen it all. I'm sure I haven't seen it all. I've seen a lot. And that was something that gave me goosebumps when I read it. And I got to be honest, as soon as I read it, I became very skeptical, thinking, is this real? Like, because you sometimes you just don't know. And I'm a very skeptic person anyway when it comes to like strangers or people I don't know. Ironically, I go up to strangers all the time. But with this, it was just a little bit skeptical because in the letter it just talks about the, I guess, the application that she asked me to go on so I can set up an account and speak to her. And she told me that she doesn't have a lot of money. She's not rich, but she can pay me for services and to go back and forth, which of course I would never do and take money from her. But it was just it was something that I just started I don't know, contemplating and thinking about, like, how did this get to me? And and then I was thinking about Lady of the Dunes. How did Frank, the producer, get to me, and all of this? And it's just, I was just thinking that it's all energy. And, so many people, I've said this a million times, so many people, and I promise I'm going to stop and do quick readings, but it's just important that I wanted to share this, especially because 2023 is coming, right? It's one of those questions that I get all the time when I do readings, is whether they're private or big readings, whatever the case may be. How do I connect? Stephen, I wish I was like you. I wish I could connect to my loved ones, and I don't have enough time always to be able to tell people that you can. And I started really thinking about this, that, for me and for all of you, every one of you that are here, and I know a lot of you know that you're very, very connected. I already seen people that I know are very connected, but they know they're connected, which is a great thing because we are all connected. But, there's no more communication talking wise, right, to spirit. Like, we don't talk to them. I don't talk to them. It's all energy. I listen and I hear them and I see them on a different realm, right, on a different level. But one of the things that I've been really focused on and asking spirit when I meditate is, give me more about this. Give me more so that I can actually help people be able to really stop the noise that we all have. And when you stop the noise, then you get to really tune into your gift, right? And tune into your soul and tune into that higher self. And one of the things that I've been getting from spirit is that because we don't have communication, we don't talk to them because they're energy, right? This is still all energy, but it's really about feelings. But one thing that, I meditated a couple of days ago, and one thing that I don't know where it came from, but it's not even like I heard it. I just felt it, that how important it is for every one of us to protect ourselves. And, I'm one that never really thought about that. I'm just like everybody else. When you get into these, your profession or your thought process, you become tunnel vision, whether you know it or not. And when you step back and you start trying to open up and like sort of get out of your corral that you've put around you, even though you don't even know it, then you realize how much more there is. And I'm thinking, oh my God, like, I only tell people when I'm reading them that I can, when I'm reading someone, it's like an hour. And if there's more than one person, I don't have a lot of time with you, right? So if I get to have someone say by themselves and I see their auras and I know, oh my God, this person is, say, an empath, is really empathic. They connect to people's energy. I will always never finish that reading without saying, do you protect yourself? As an empath, you've got to protect yourself. You pick up people's energy, right? So many of you are empaths. So I know you understand this and know that. And then I just started thinking, though, but that should apply to everybody, because everybody is connected on some level or not. And why I bring up this whole thing from prison is that, when you protect yourself, then you're protecting yourself from the negative energy, and you're only allowing in the positive. I always say high light, high energy, positive white light energy. So that's how you tune in to the energy that's on the same frequency, the good energy, if you will, and you pull the good stuff in. You pull, your surroundings. If a job, a car, a house, whatever the case may be, friends, these opportunities start opening up because you're not letting in the negative energy. And, I just realized that today, that why am I only telling people that I see that they're connected at a higher level? And not that I'm saying everybody else is not connected. You all are intuitive. I just mean that I get to see it when I do a reading. And it's really, really important that, and if you're asking yourself, if you've never heard of this, what do you mean protecting yourself. I don't mean to get like a huge 6-foot condom and just squeeze it over your head and pull it down. I know if Felix is listening, he's rolling his eyes right now like, Stephen, please, where are you going? I don't know. Where the hell am I going? I never know. I mean that before you get out of bed, I'm telling you, do this, especially as 2023 approaches. Start it now, because we have less than a week. Start it now, that before you get out of bed, just envision a white light up above you, from the sky, from the heavens, from the universe, from heaven if you want, wherever you want. And just envision it in your third eye. And even if you can't in your third eye, just like mentally think about it, or verbally think about it, that this white light is coming down and it's way in the sky and it's heading down like it's heading to earth. And then it gets right above your house or apartment, wherever you are, and it goes through the roof. And right when it gets into your room, you're laying in your bed, it just sort of goes right to the top of your head and it opens up, and it just it just covers you. It's like a force field around you. And the greatest and coolest thing when I teach classes is that I always tell people that make up your own creative little statement. And that whole process literally can take 5 seconds. That's it. That's how fast it is. But you can say something. You can just envision angels around it. You can envision, I don't know, like white light around it, purple light around it, whatever you want. And then you can say something too. But it can take it's very quick. But I'm telling you, doing that for that 5 seconds, for the rest of the day, you're protected. You're protecting, like one of the things I always say when I put this white shield around me, I always say only allowing white light, high energy, positivity in, nothing else. I mean, I do some more stuff, but it's only because of my profession, right? That I do readings every day, and I'm exposed to so much that, I have to like do a little bit of a cycle of, I put crosses around me, mirrors, outward mirrors, so that any energy that's negative energy that's trying to come in, it just actually will reflect off and go back to them. I do a wind storm, or like a tornado, so that it's so fast that negative energy can't get in. And of course I do white light. And when I say crosses, I'm not a religious person. It's kind of funny. I say I'm not a religious person, even though I just got this ring, which is really cool. I've never seen this. It's got Hail Mary, the entire prayer on this ring. And I was almost going to get one for Elix. I know I'm like going off on a tangent at La Salette Shrine when we go to see the lights. And I didn't get it. And then he was giving me such beef about it, I didn't pick him up one. So we went back just this past week, and all those damn effing rings are gone. There was tubs of them. So I called the nun. I'm like, where are these rings? And she was like, they're gone. I'm like, oh my God. So, and I'm not really a religious person, even though obviously for me, I believe in God, but in any case, so it's Hail Mary, but that protects you, just completely protects you for the rest of the day. And who doesn't want to go into an office and say, and I think almost all of us have experienced this, go into an office and have that one person who is just someone that either starts trouble, is just completely negative, you don't get along with, and know that for the first time you walk in, and that negativity of that person, whether it's deliberate and sometimes it's not, that energy is going to automatically try to get to you, and it's going to be ricocheted right off, and it's not hitting you. It's not coming near you. You are going to feel differently if you keep doing that. I know externally it doesn't change because you're going to see this person all the time, but I'm telling you, it changes. It just, once you protect your energy, it's incredible. In one of my classes that I do, there's like a whole section on intent and energy, because it's so important, connecting to spirit, but also living lives. And for 2023, I just wanted to bring that up because do that and start that. And a great other thing to do is to think about your accomplishments this past year. And even if it's 1, if it's 10, if it's 25, I'm telling you, if you just sit down, and I read this or heard this somewhere and I did it and I loved it. If you just sit down and think about your accomplishments, even if it's the last 6 months, a year, 10 years, but just the accomplishments, your whole energy shifts. It all changes. Like you get in such a better mood, in a good mood. And I also talked about, protecting yourself. But one thing, the last thing I'm going to say, and I am going to reach out to this person and see if I can help. That clearly came to me for a reason. If you're just coming in, I got a letter from a young woman in her 20s from an Indiana prison that somehow found me and is looking for some spiritual guidance until she gets out. And the letter was just, it was heartwarming. And I got, as I mentioned, I got goose pimples because I read it and I'm thinking, oh my God, how the hell did this get to me? And I just, it's amazing. But let me just tell you the one last thing before I pull people and do readings, is that you got to be also alone. And, I say that because, you always hear mediums and psychics. You'll hear it from me all the time that if you want to enhance your skill, if you want to hone in on your skill, if you want to connect more to spirit, you've got to meditate, right? You have to. A lot of people don't like meditating. I can't go more than 15, 20 minutes. I always pick meditations that are that long or less. Usually 15 to 20 minutes I usually pick. But I started thinking, but I think there's another way to do it, not just meditating. How you always hear about you meditate because then you clear the mind, you stop the noise. I don't think that's necessarily the only way. I think, this is just me, but I think the meditating is more about being by yourself than anything else. And I think if you take a walk, a 10-minute walk by yourself, if it's in nature, it's even better. But no matter where you can find yourself, or if you just go into your bedroom and close the door and stay by yourself for 10 minutes, just be by yourself. It is so important to be by yourself because you're the one that directs and controls your own life, and everything that's there with you, you're directing, you're dictating. And if you're not by yourself and you're not able to be by yourself and get to know yourself and speak to yourself and ask questions to yourself and be curious about yourself, you're not going to get to the place of really learning what you need to learn and why you're here on earth, right? I mean, we all come here. Someone told me, and at first I wasn't sure about it, and I'm starting to really believe that, when we come here, we select to come here, and there's a reason for it, right? There's a reason why we need to learn. And unfortunately, what I do know is that there's people that come here and don't learn it and have to do a retake and a retake and a retake. And that's something that I think none of us want to do. I think it's almost like a magic pill that we take when we know we're coming, but when we're born, we all forget that we elected to come here and to learn and to figure stuff out. So it's just one of those things that I wanted to share. But that alone piece, honestly, I love meditating, and I want to make sure I don't sound like I'm saying don't meditate, because I meditate every day and I love meditating. But honestly, I really think that it's more about just being by yourself, just taking time to be by yourself. And one of the things that I in my class, I always talk about, and do this, if you haven't heard me say this, which I do it and I love it, is that step outside of yourself. So, if you're sitting by yourself, wherever you are, just imagine wherever you're sitting. So let me use me. Say I'm sitting in this chair, I'm sitting in my office, and I would just either have my eyes shut or open, it doesn't matter, and just try in your third eye to get out of your body and be behind you so that you're looking at yourself. So in other words, I would try in my third eye to be back behind me and actually see this black chair, see my head, see my blue sweater, and see me, because the second you can do that is really when you're in the space in between, your personality, which is this, and your soul. But all the magic happens because you get to be curious, you get to question things. Questioning things is the most incredible thing. That's where questioning things just bring you to paths that you've never known about. And because let's face it, life can kick you in the ass many, many times. And the thing is, even when you're having a good day, life can still kick you in the ass. It just happens, right? Life is not easy sometimes. And but I think once you start taking some time to be by yourself, I think you get to know yourself, and I'm sure people, I haven't looked at any of the comments because I'm just chatting. So everybody who's saying hi, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. And I'm sure there's some of you that are saying, Stephen, just shut up and just do a reading. That's what we're here for. But I hope that's not all of you. I hope that's none of you. But I hope that that you understand that. And I think it's so, you can do this anytime. My big saying I love is forward from here. I always say, it doesn't matter about your past. You can do a reset, a retake at any point forward from here. Clap your hands and you're new. You move forward and you've got forgiveness. You've got anything that you want to accept and move forward. And it's a great thing. You're not attached to that past. So, but listen, I'm privileged, grateful that I get to see dead people, speak to dead people. So I don't take this lightly, these conversations. And I always, if I think something, I will always try to get an affirmation from spirit. And again, it's not like I have the, the apostles standing in front of me with books and they're just reading to me. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just, I tried to do my best to figure stuff out. But I do know one thing. I always say, I speak by experience, and I know that Elix, and I don't even know if Elix is watching, but I do know that Elix and I have the same philosophy, and we move forward in life the same way. And there's always so much learning. But since we started this, in the 2 years, we left a house of 15 years and moved into our dream house on Cape Cod. That's not by accident. That's deliberate. That's intentional on our part. And that is just part of it, is bringing and keeping that good energy around, understanding energy and trusting yourself and being by yourself and understanding yourself. And I love it. And also watching your accomplishments and giving yourself a pat on the back. So I hope that makes sense. And one last thing, I have a book that I'm really excited to read. It's called Green Lights, I think. And we had a dinner party last night, and a good friend, Dennis, who is, people are just incredible, that we just talked about this book for a second or so. And he read it, and another person in the group had read it too and loved it. And it was more about this. It's from Matthew McConaughey. I don't know if any of you guys have ever read this, but I'm really excited about reading it. And it's just about, how he talks about how many people are always looking for the red lights, the stops, the barriers, and listening to them when we want to move forward. And nobody looks for the green lights or understands that sometimes the red lights are actually green lights. I thought it was really cool. And Elix comes home because, he's Dennis's wife works with Elix, or Elix is, went to see her today. And Elix walks in and has this. So I got to text Dennis and thank him so much. I was really excited. So I love it. So I hope you guys liked what I said and listen to it, and don't listen to it, but just do it. And remember the protection, because it's really, really important. So Lynn, well, that's it. I've never heard that, Lynn. Lynn says, afraid of not coming back from third eye. That's interesting. I mean, it's not like you're going to go in a spaceship and take off with the aliens, Lynn. That makes me wonder, though, Lynn, when you said afraid of not coming back from third eye, if your soul already knows your connection with spirit, and that could be part of why you're saying that. Lynn, 3. I know you just said from third eye. There's 3 connected to you. 3 kids. March is the 3rd month, the 3rd of a month, but I just heard 3 and a really strong father energy, Lynn, for you. It could be dad, it could be father-in-law, it could be grandfather. And birthday, anniversary, Lynn, too. Just keep that with you. You've got something 2 weeks back, 2 weeks forward. Sometimes I love people because I say, oh, there's a birthday or anniversary, like really close. And say if I was doing it today, they're like, oh my God, my birthday. I'm like, when is it? They're like, May. I'm like, no, not May. Like 2 weeks back, 2 weeks forward. So make sure Lynn, you keep that with you, the stuff I just told you. And I can't tell, Lynn, if there's if someone's mother energy too, really strong mother energy. Again, mom, mother-in-law, grandmother, uh, Frank, Fred, Frank F, Phil F name. But someone keeps talking about this. I don't know if it's a pendant. Oh, someone did something with jewelry, Lynn. Someone wears something differently or is thinking about changing something with jewelry. So make sure also you keep that with you. And I'm positive, Lynn, that comment is because you're really connected. Your soul knows it, and I think you know it too. But maybe like anything else, the way we sometimes are raised, we put the brakes on it with spirit because maybe some kind of religious thing. So spirit yelled at me not to go through a green light by Somerville Courthouse. Bam, someone ran the red light. Just wow, Bernie, wow. Not surprising, Bernie, too, because I know Bernie is like crazy connected. Bernie's really fun and really cool because I'll just get a message from Bernie and he'll just like drop something like, I saw this or that, and I'm looking at it like yes and yes, that it connects to me, which is pretty cool, right? So my birthday is the 3rd, and my Cardinal Love, I love your name. That for both, that where I started with Lynn. So Cardinal Love, Lynn, that's also for you. It's a double, triple, quadruple validation. That's how it works. So my birthday's the 3rd. My dad is Frank. I love that. Your loved ones also are just jumping on board to say that they're here. So Kristen McBride, I love you. So formal. Kristen's like, good evening. Well, good evening to you too, Kristen. I love it. Michelle, thank you. I think that's it for Lynn, I think. I haven't been, listen, I just look at this comment, Lana, how just incredible. I'm not surprised with Lana. Everybody deserves a second chance. My heart goes out to her. Wow. Lana, when you just said that, I just got goose pimples, and got 5, Lana, 5 for you. There's also a birthday or an anniversary, and an anniversary of death too. It could be, but Lana, 5. There's something 5 kids, 5, the 5th month, 5th of a month, but there's something I just, excuse me, keep hearing 5. And Lana, this school, did I don't know if you're in school or a certification or something. I see books. I see someone looking at books. Keep that with you. I should, let me just go back to, yes, my daughter passed on the, oh my God, Lana, your daughter passed on the 5th. Wow. I love that your beautiful daughter is stepping forward. It's just such a beautiful way to give you a big hug and let you know that she's here. So, DC, hi. I was going to say hi, Stephen. I'm saying hi to myself, DC, because of you. Hi, Stephen. I'm doing suicide training for Lauren. Oh my God, Lana, I love this. Wow. What an amazing soul and energy you are by doing that. But again, it's just all your loved ones. Lana, and let me tell you and everybody else that's watching, is that when you just said, I'm doing suicide training for law enforcement, you got to know when you're doing that anybody and everybody that's connected to this training. So in other words, people that did commit suicide that may have been connected to somebody in this training, or, it could even be family or professional, are with you, Lana, are helping you. I can actually see like just all these people, guys and girls, just around you of people that have taken their lives, and are just so proud that you're doing this and helping. So, and they're with you, which is a great thing. And I just got a goose pimples because of a tattoo. Yeah, I think your daughter just said, you have a tattoo for somebody. I just got like goose pimples all through my arms. I don't know if you've got it or you're getting it. Yes, my daughter pushed me to do what she, oh my God, Lana. Wow. That is why I said guys and girls I saw next to you, because clearly your daughter's the number one person. But what's she's laughing hysterically. Um, she's very excited that you get to know that she's, yes, I have a tattoo with her face. Oh my God. That's never happened to me, that she actually gave me goose pimples and I grabbed my arms because I knew there was something on my arm. So wow, it's your daughter. I love it. I love it. But Lana, you're also somebody that I love validating this when I do readings, but I will tell you that your daughter just also said to me, my mom knows. She knows every single day I'm there, like every day. And again, I don't say that lightly. I don't say that you don't miss her, because physically she's not here. She would laugh. She's laughing, Lana. She's very much laughing. But she's just such a great soul. And which I didn't connect until she just told me this, is that she just said, Ma, I'm doing training up here, just like you're doing training down. Oh my God, Lana. She just told me that people that take their life, when they cross over, she trains, like she's there to sort of transition them, to let them know where they are. Wow. And she, oh my God. So simultaneously, Lana, you're doing the same thing on the physical earth as she's doing in spirit, but side by side, if that makes any sense. It's sort of like your daughter just said. It's like oh, Shauna, thank you. I love you, Shauna. It's Lana. It's like a parallel life, if you will. Yeah. I those goosebumps are, those goosebumps for everybody else, and for Lana, is that's your loved one just grabbing you, touching you, her energy going through you. That's when you feel goosebumps, is when your loved ones, when you feel those goosebumps out of nowhere, that's your loved ones. A lot of times that happens, which is really cool, is that, say your mom is crossed and you were really close to her and she's with you, and you get up and you decide that maybe you're going to go to the kitchen, but at the last second, you decide you're going to go to the bathroom, and you turn and she's this way. So she literally goes right through you and you get the goose pimples. It's really cool when that happens. So look, at everyone's getting goosebumps from Lana's daughter, which is really translating to you guys, your loved ones, who are giving you goosebumps, because they're all doing that. So I love that she's an amazing girl. We were best friends. I love that too, Lana. And I love the fact that she just wanted to step forward, especially because of the holidays, Lana. She just said, I've never seen anybody say that they're in spirit, that they're doing the same job as their parent, and that they're doing it simultaneously. Lana, that's a new one for me. It's another way that spirit shows me, and I learn how incredible spirit is, and how you in a classroom, right in the same classroom, your daughter is helping people that took their lives, took their lives. And I heard something, because my dad took his life when I was 8 years old, and I heard someone say, I hate the expression committed suicide. They didn't commit anything, and stuck in my head. And so now I try not to say that and just say take their life. But your daughter is in the same room, just doing the same exact thing with people coming in to spirit. So it's pretty cool. Joanne, thank you. Joanne, Lana, your daughter just like knocked me and was like, you got to end it nicely for my mom. I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, what should I say? And she's like, tell my mom I'm hugging her. I'm giving her a big hug. I'm kissing her. I'm hugging her. And thank you, Stephen. I love how your daughter thanks me. So, because it's not me, it's really your daughter. So I love that. Another Sharon, so formal. Good evening, Sharon. I love that too. Kylie Elizabeth, I love your name. Hi, Stephen. I'm getting back to you, Joanne, in a second. I hope you had a great holiday. I did. Wishing you and Kylie. It's Elix, no F, just Elix. If he's watching, he's going to be putting his Puerto Rican finger up at you, saying it's Elix. Maybe it was just like a typo. I don't know. And I hope, Kylie, you have a same God, Kylie, you've got so much loved ones too. Everybody does. But where was I? Oh my God, who was I just talking to here? Joanne Johnson. Um, Joanne, there's a really strong dad, even though I don't know, it sort of feels like maybe your dad is here, unless he's really close to you and the connection's still really close. But there's a father energy. Um, Joanne Johnson, I know I see the J and J, but Joanne, you also have another George, Jim. I can hear two kids. Um, I don't know if you're one of two or you have two kids. Um, uh, Someone's in trouble. Who was it? Kylie. Elix is watching. You're in trouble for the Felix thing. Just saying. Uh, so, Joanne, a really, really strong dad energy, grandfather, dad. I have two. Oh, you have two. I love it. I love that they're talking about two kids. So just know that they're giving that as a validation to let you know they're watching your kids too. But this oh, I can hear a bike. Joanne, there's something. Oh, Dad is crossed. It sounds like. If it is, know that he's stepping forward. If your father is crossed, Joanne, I got to tell you, hey Lee, he tricked me, because if he is crossed, I would not have guessed that. I didn't. That energy is so strong with you. It feels like he's still here. So he's, yeah. Wow. Your father's amazing. So that bond is really. I mean, the bond never breaks anyway, but that's really, really strong. And he's the one that just wants to let you know that he's watching my grandkids. I keep hearing him say, and what I just said something. My God, Joanne, I just said something. Oh, the GJ name. When I hear GJ, it's either a GJ name, or it also can be, which I think you also are connected to, a name passed down. Somebody named a first, middle name. Your father's clapping. Either one of your kids, he was named after but there's a name passed down that he's very excited about. And Bob or Barbara or Brian, B, Joanne, B also, just keep it with you. It's just a great way that, I asked your dad more questions, and your father just looks at me and was like, no, it's all about her. It's all about my daughter. I'm like, I know, but I need to validate, right? I need to speak to you. So, and Mom, there's a grandmother who's stepping forward. I think it feels like your dad's mom, but it also feels like she was either not as close or has been gone for a long time. It just seems like it's really. So my dad and I have the same middle name. What? Joanne, are you kidding? That's so wow. That's so amazing that you and your dad, I mean, you always have the same sex, right? Like dad and a boy, or a mom and a girl. That is so wild. My dad and I have the same middle name. And I know I said this when I asked about that name passed down. Your father was like clapping in my ear, like really loudly, so excited. So he just wants to give you that as a validation. And on a side note too, you can also always go to Stephen the Medium, my website, and book a reading, or you can book a Whisper in a Note. By the way, a Whisper in a Note, if you've never heard about it, I love doing Whispers in a Note too. Is that this is them? Joanne, I'm not done. I'm just doing like a commercial break. Whisper in a Note here, Stephen the Medium. So I ask, you can select who you want. You can do a gift. You can select who you want it from. You can just say, surprise me, and say you want a reading for yourself, a Whisper in a Note for yourself, and you want it from your mom who's passed away. You actually, don't give me names. All I need is the relationship that you want it from. Because imagine everybody wants to write in this note. And if you say your mom, I meditate, and then I just ask your mom to step forward. She steps forward right here, and she dictates to me what she wants me to write in the note for you. And, this is what one looks like. They are really, can you see it? Really full. And they're really cool. You can do that singularly, or you can do that in a reading. You can book a reading plus a no, which is really cool too. Um, that's good for my advertising, right? So Joanne, let me just finish up here. So Joanne, who's the B? Who I keep Brad, Brian, Barbara, Bob, who there's a either living or crossed, but I keep hearing a really, really strong uh it's funny because your dad said she knows. Um, so just if it doesn't come, just make sure you keep it with you. I also love the fact that these are recorded, so you get to go back and listen to it because everybody does not catch everything. It's I throw so much, it's impossible. So, um, Cheryl, so you did an amazing one for one of the ladies at my rink. Cheryl, I remember Dottie. I pulled her up in stage when I was doing the fundraiser. That was a pretty cool reading. So, yeah, thank you, Crystal, for doing that, rewatching the reading. So, and that's the greatest thing, Crystal. You're dead on with that. Pardon the dead on, pardon the pun. That when you watch your reading, again, you relive your loved ones here, so which is really cool. So and my advertiser Elix Sintron also just said gift certificates. Yeah, so you can also buy gift certificates. I had it sold a lot for Christmas, which is really cool, and it's never too late. And those are so simple, the electronic gift cards, so which is really wild. So Kylie, thank you for letting me do stuff, and thank all of you for letting me do stuff. So Joanne, I don't know. So Joanne, just it could be a name, but I just asked your dad. She doesn't know. So give it to me. Give me some more information. B place. Just Joanne, keep this with you. B town, street name, work, like where you work is a B name. There's a B connected to you. Your father just drew a big B. He's not taking back the name like the Bob or Brian, but he was like, looked at me, was like, all right, let's get an easier one. I'm like, I don't know if this is easier, but Joanne, just keep that with you. And it also could be not that someone lives there now. So say someone lived on Bosco Street, but that was your grandparents that don't live there anymore. The spirit validates that all the time. So, which is really cool. So, Queen D, I love the names here. Elizabeth Hill, so keep it, just make sure, Joanne, you keep it with you. And lastly, Joanne, ring. There's something with a ring. I don't know if this is a hand down ring or there's something with, oh my God, he went by, I told you, Joanne. I love it. Your dad went by Butch. There's the B. I couldn't figure the actual name out. That's why I was giving like Bob, Barbara, Brian. So Butch, I get it. So which is how cool. So Ken is also very formal. So Joanne, let me just say, your dad is just said to me, I just wanted my daughter to know I'm with her all the time. I am so proud of her. And he just said, tell her I got to take a glimpse of 2023 and it is pretty spectacular. So as always, I said to him, well, give me something. And then he flipped his head. When spirit does that to me, I ask a question and they turn their head and I see the back of their heads, even though it's not really like a head. I don't know how to explain it, but that means they're not telling me because they can't. We have to learn and figure this out. So, so it's pretty good, Joanne. I love that. So Ken Stone, sir, I've always been a bit skeptical. By any chance, do you feel anyone connected to me to validate and help change my mind? I love, Ken, that you're very honest. I think that's a great thing. And I don't know if I always I set out to change people's minds. I mean, you believe what you want to believe, which is a great thing. But I will tell you, Ken, thank you, Joanne, thank you for letting me do this. Ken, I will tell you that as soon as I tuned into you, there's a dad energy, and it feels like your father. I mean, I could be wrong. It could be a grandfather, but I think he just said it. Yeah, I think there's a father energy that steps Oh, there's a lot going on. Um, uh, Ken, I keep hearing someone talk about the brother, and I can't tell yet, brother or brother-in-law. When I say brother, it could be brother, brother-in-law. Do you have a brother who's in spirit or a brother-in-law who's in spirit? That's what it feels like. Or a brother or brother-in-law that for a period of time was separated, either geographically or relationship-wise. There's something, Ken, that this father energy keeps talking about. So if your dad's still here and it's two grandfathers, you don't have a father-in-law, unless one of the grandfathers. I keep feeling like it's brother is relationship separated now. So I think you're saying your brother is relationship separate. So maybe your relationship separated with him. I just hear this father energy just keep talking about something with the brother-in-law, and it's separate. And just giving that also as a validation, and he won't. Oh, so Ken, that's what it is. Just make sure you know. And I don't know. So let me just say it's your grandfather's, because you said your grandfather's across. Just make sure you know. Oh, there's a grandmother, mom's mom, that's, I think, steps forward. And she just said, number one, they just want to make sure, Ken, you know that they know what's going on with your brother, and that I just heard them also say the onus is not on you, Ken. So there's going to be forgiveness around you too. But you know what, Ken? It's interesting. It's not about forgiveness of others. It's forgiveness of yourself. I think, from what Spirit's saying is that you're too hard on yourself. And that there's not, you can only do so much, right? Especially when it comes to what's going on with your brother. Just make sure you keep that with you. If they're giving that as a validation, when I see this, and I think one of your grandfathers just placed when I see a hand on the heart or hand on the face, it just means that what Spirit's saying to me to tell you is that give yourself some love, Ken. Just, you have a hardness on yourself. I can feel it with you. I can see it. It's just make sure you know that even if you don't agree with me, I just got to tell you what they're giving me as a message. So just keep that with you. I was going to say there's music around you. Somebody played, I don't know if it's somebody that's crossed over or here, but it's almost like I hear piano, I hear music, and I also hear teacher. I don't know. I'm not sure if those go hand in hand. But when I give these validations, Ken, and for everybody else, it's either for people living or people crossed. I never know. So it could be a grandmother who played the piano, or it could be a niece that plays the piano or plays the tuba, but there's I can hear music. And there is something, holy shit. Ken, I love that. You've nailed it. You know what, Ken? Just also, oh my God, your loved ones are talking so fast and so much, and they're so excited that you get to know that they're here. And also, I think what I said to Jody, everybody in spirit, especially the boys, the grandfathers, oh my God, and great-grandparents, great-grandfathers are all just saying how proud they are of you. And they also just want, I love one of your grandpas just said, I want my grandson to be as proud as I am of him. That's pretty significant, Ken. And again, just making sure, where's the music come in? It's either music, singing, I hear music. So there has to be some kind of connection with music and singing. There was something else I was going to say to you, and it slipped my mind. I started talking. There was something else that your grandfathers and grandmother were stepping forward to talk about. So Banana and Papa were square. My name, I love that. We're square dances. That has to be where the music's coming in, especially if she's the one. My Yellow Rose of Texas, I just heard. Is there something with roses? Is someone named Rose, or someone like roses or yellow roses or red rose. I just heard your grandmother sing. I heard someone sing the Yellow Rose of Texas. There's something with rose, rosaries, roses, um, a connection there. And that grandmother just said, another applauder, another clapper. My grandson knows. He knows. So whatever that is, Ken. Oh my God, I cannot believe I have my Nana's roses. And she's saying, he knows. Yeah, of course you know. You got them, her roses. So I love that. You know what I love about it, Ken, too, is that your grandmother said, it's not even about the material things. It's not about the flowers. It's about what it gives my grandson, like what makes him feel, knowing that he has them, which is um, pretty cool. What are the numbers, Ken? Ken, did someone work in law enforcement or security or prison? Someone go to prison? I see numbers, and it feels as if I'm being pulled to. I don't know if this is legal. There's something, or maybe something legal's going on, or was going on, but there's something connected with. I'm a Coast Guard veteran. Wow. Well, listen, thank you, Ken, for everything that you've done as a veteran. And I'm sure all of us here are saying the same thing. We're all sending the same energy to thank you. So, and that's Lana. So my daughter passed on her. Wow. So many double, triple validations. Ken, I don't want to sound ignorant, but someone was just telling me something. So Ken, that's got to be the connection to. It's kind of interesting though. Ed, how are you? God, it's been so long since I've seen you, and so I'm so glad to get to see you. And happy holidays, Merry Christmas. If Elix isn't here, I'll have to tell him you're here. So I'm sure he'll be very happy. Ken, I was going to say that I don't know. That's not the normal way I get like a veteran or somebody, in the Coast Guard with numbers. My godfather, who also passed, was also in the Coast Guard. And one of my grandfathers was in the Navy. That's not the normal way I get military with numbers. Are you guys assigned? Ed, I will. He'll be very, very happy to hear that. You guys get numbers assigned? It still feels like, Ed, I think there's still something else that is like in like a jail, or like yeah, Colleen, it definitely could be a double validation, triple, quadruple validation too with you. But just oh, that could be the legal thing that you're currently going through a court battle. I think, I don't remember once I say something, but I think your grandfather just said yes. I mentioned something about a legal thing. So just make sure you know that I think there's more validations than what I just said. So the great thing, Ken, is that this is on Facebook, so you can go back, and it's on YouTube too, my Stephen the Medium YouTube. In case you're watching via YouTube and not Stephen the Medium on Facebook, you can go back and listen to it, which is cool. So but everybody in spirit just said that you're never alone, Ken, and they just gave you, especially that grandmother with the roses that you've got, just gave you a big hug and said that you're never alone. There was a house. Your grandmother showed me an old house. I don't know if a house was in the family for a long time, or you spent a lot of time at your grandparents' house, but I just feel like I'm situated in an old house in V. I never get that letter, Ken. Just keep the V. Usually what Spirit does is they say something, and then right afterwards it connects to what I just said. So talking about a house, maybe someone lived in a town or city with a V name, or a street name, or there's someone connected to you with a V name. But there's something with the V that your grandma just gave you. So, I'll tell you, the last thing I'll tell you, Ken, is that your grandmother and everybody else in spirit just said, just tell our boy to hold on. Just hold on. That's what this is all about. And make sure, Ken, don't let this go over your head about this, the self-validation, the self-love. Your grandmother just said, do this for me. And, I always tell people, spirit doesn't tell us what to do. That's not their job. There's exceptions. This is an exception. So, Ken, your grandmother just said, honey, do this for me. One night, tonight or any other night or day, just go back what I talked about at the beginning of this session. Think about your accomplishments, only the positives that you have had in this journey in your life. Just focus on those accomplishments, those good things, and see, and even maybe write them down and then look at them and see what you've accomplished. I'm telling you, Ken, it will just change the energy and just put you in such an amazing place. Like, wow, like I did this. And if you just focus on that and don't let your mind wander to, well, I did this, but it should have been this. It's only about accomplishments. That's a great thing for everybody to do, honestly. It's really a great experience, a great thing to sort of follow. So, no, Ken, thank you so much too. And whether you're still skeptical or whether you're not, I just am honored that you let me do that and you participated with me. So I love that. So Ed, thank you. I love the claps, the prayers with Queen D. I haven't seen you, Queen D. Where are you from? I haven't seen that. Pamela, thank you. I say that, Queen D. I mean, I know you don't have a profile picture, but you also have you got a lot of people in your loved ones. I mean, in spirit, your loved ones who are connected. And it's kind of interesting, Queen D. I don't know if New York, I love it. One of my favorite cities to go to. We were just there a couple of weeks ago. One thing that I tell you, Queen D, is that there was somebody in your, you may know this, and I don't know if you do, but someone in spirit, it's like, it feels like it's a great grandmother validating this. Or it could be a grandmother, even though it feels even further back, validating that connected to you. There are people in your family, in your lineage that are connected. Brian, thank you. Very connected. But someone was shut down. I don't know if you ever heard, like, your mom or dad or anybody. Oh, Queen D, there's a young male here. Queen D, there's a young male. And when I got a young male, when someone steps forward and says they're a young male, it means that he crossed before we would expect him to cross. And he's screaming, Queen D, Queen D. Paulie's Island says hello. Is that New York? Look, if it is New York, I lost my best. But Queen D, this was a guy? If it is, it's him. It's definitely him. If it's a guy. Because I don't know if you heard me, but this is a guy. I lost my best friend. Well, this guy is quite the character. Queen D, really quite the character. Lisa, I cannot wait to tell Paul J. Martin that you were on tonight. I was just, as a matter of fact, I started this live and he called me, and of course I couldn't get to him. So I've known Lisa since we worked together, not in the same place, but in the same mall, Midland Mall in Rhode Island, like growing up in college. And don't you love it when someone that you've known for a long time pops in? It's really cool. It just, at least I just get like goose pimples of just thinking of memories and stuff of Rocky Point and all that kind of stuff. So, and I know that you've had a tough time with the passing with Bill. So you know that all the, as I mentioned to your message, all my healing and white light was being sent. I don't know what happened to Queen. Oh, Queen D. Yes, he was 17. I got it, Queen. I didn't catch that. So I got to tell you, he's got more energy than like a lot of people. He's so excited. so excited. And I'll tell you something, Queen D. You know what he just said to me? Um, uh, he doesn't hold back. Sometimes I don't know if I'm going to get like knocked off if I'm not a swearer, but I'm Queen D. He just said to me, "You better get off. Tell her to get off her ass and step into who she is." Queen D, I tell you, every word and sentence that comes out of my mouth, there's a reason for it. In that you still have so many of these gifts that are just laying dormant, and that you've got so much. But he just said, but she knows that. She knows that, and he's always with you. And the cool thing is he just said the greatest thing about him, if there, well, there's many great things about going into spirit, even though on this end it's weird to hear that. But he just said one of the greatest things about going into spirit, Queen D, is that he gets to ride this ride with you, and he's not letting you hold back on anything, Queen D. So just make sure you keep that with you. Queen D, he just also brought me to the spring. I don't know if he died in the spring, but I smell spring flowers. Or is your birthday in the spring? Oh my God, is he okay? Look, he's not even talking about himself. He's talking about you, about what, getting on you, about what he wants you to do. He is so okay. He's a trip, and very social in spirit, but I can feel like magnolias, that it's spring. He keeps saying, talk about spring. Did he die outside? There's a memorial or something, or his name is somewhere, or a memorial is there somewhere for him. That's what I keep hearing and seeing. So just make sure, Queen D, you keep it with you, and you know that everything that he says, his memory outside. I'm not sure. Maybe like his memorial is outside. Is that what you mean? All I can tell you is that's what he just said. There's something that's outside, but that boy is on you and making sure that you're going to do what your potential is, which is a great. Yeah. So I love that he's giving that as a validation, and he's with you. And he's like, he also just said he's as handsome as ever. He's got a really, Queen D, listen, you know what? Does he know I'm always thinking about him? Absolutely. That's why, this is all directed by spirit. Like when I look down the comments and pick somebody, it's not me. Just, I don't have favorites. I'm not, I know people sometimes on here, obviously more than others, but it's spirit that draws me to who I'm supposed to go to. And Queen D, he clearly did that for you. So just make sure, of course he knows that and he loves that. But it's not about him. He just said, he was like, it's about you. You're still here and you're supposed to still be here. He just showed me a gun, Queen D, too. I don't know if you connect to like police, or there's like, a gun could be a lot of things. A gun could be, there was an accident, but he just showed me a gun. So I don't know where that falls. Just make sure you keep it with you. But yes, to answer your question, he's always around. He's always with you, and just how much he loves you, which is a great thing. And again, as I just did my advertisement. You can always go to Stephen the Medium, and I loved getting to do more personal readings because I have more time when I get to do these. Yes, I know what you're saying. So Queen D, you know what? As long as you know what I'm saying or what he's saying, that's all that matters. So just keep that with you. But he just gave you the biggest hug, and just again, just said, there's so much greatness. It's very funny, Queen D. He just said there's so much greatness right under the first layer. I've never heard it said that way, but it just really is just a way to say, Queen D, you've got so much that you've been working on, and that it's ready to expand and you're ready to fly. Just don't make sure you keep fear out of it. So just keep that with you too. So it's a great validation. It just gave you like this big hug and kiss. But he's got a very funny sense of humor because he said, I can't hug her too much. He said, because, look at me. She's not going to want me to go. He started laughing. He's very funny. And he's like laughing at you and knows that you'd laugh at that or you'd understand that, Queen Lee. So that's what it's all about. So it's 9:00. I unfortunately got to close this down. And but listen, go to Stephen the Medium. You can find me. You can book stuff. And if you're in Massachusetts, I'm doing a huge January 19th, I think. Oh my God. In Sturbridge. It's going to go on my website. It's not there yet, but it will go on my website. So I'm doing that tonight. So just keep that with you. And I also have classes online that you can purchase and do. And hey, Sil, Canada's in the house. I didn't see you. See the Crystal, I love it. You're coming. I love it. I think I kind of like threatened Crystal, like you better come. So I really, God bless you. Queen D, God bless you. I love that I got to do that for you. So listen to this. Make sure you guys do that. What I talked about, just, look at your accomplishments, go into 2023 in a better place. I'm not talking about any kind of, I can't think of the word. What's the word when you're it's the new year and you're gonna go on a diet? What's that word? Someone help me here. What the hell's that word? I can't think of it. I cannot think of the damn word. Then again, I got such an aggressive Crystal. Brian, thank you. Resolution. And Brian, when you just said that to me, resolution, I just heard a grandmother step forward. Just gave you a big hug. I feels like it's your mom's, but just keep that with you. I love it. Resolution. I'm going to dream about resolution now, so I love it. Not a resolution. It is just really just about going into 2023 in the best way you can. So listen, I love you all, guys. I said that backwards. I love all you guys. Right. So, and stay tuned because Steelix is working on something very, very big that you'll get to see very soon. So, and we're really excited about it. All right, listen, happy holidays, happy new year, and I'll speak to you guys and see you guys really soon.